I need Lieutenant Roca. That dude can bring the pain. Welcome everybody. I am actually doing something a little different today. I just read the novel First Strike by Christopher Verbeek, and it is a novel set in the Warpath universe, and it is a really good time, and I'm here to review it, basically, and tell you to go read it, because it's a good, fun time. This story follows the Drakenhof Marines on the planet of Acreon, which is a brand new planet to us, and it is a very good time. Basically, these guys are a mercenary corporation group that are hired, and they check out this place that is supposedly infested with vermin, but they had a very boring stay, and so they don't really know if it's going to happen. And then once they start finding the vermin is when all the fun starts breaking out. So the main character of this book is Corporal King, and it basically follows him, and he's kind of your viewfinder into this world. And basically, it's him, the Enforcers, and the Vermin. Those are the three main players, and there's some other secrets to be had, but you'll have to read it for yourself. I really like Corporal King. I think he's a really cool character. He's got a lot of good backstory, and he's the best fleshed out character. You get a little bit more of Roca towards the end, and I really dug that. That was really great. I didn't expect that to happen. I thought they were going to keep him very stern and cold. But he actually had some more personal attributes that made him a little bit more human than you might think. I absolutely loved the scope of this novel. It was really a well-contained story, but it also felt like it was very big and important. And that was awesome. Little details like how Guidard City, which is a place in Acreon, basically how they have their farming set up, just let my imagination run wild. And it just made me think about all the other things that might be happening in this universe. And honestly, it was really cool to see that. Basically, like, it makes you picture gigantic buildings that maybe you haven't built out of your battle zones, but now you're thinking about doing. It's really cool. It's a very well-written book, very exciting when it needs to be exciting, and very well-paced when it's not as explosive. And I think that's a really big compliment I can give to the author. I think he did a really great job at making every little thing count and have each character have their own little thing. I wish there could be a little bit more character depth. It's not a very long book or anything like that, so and I know they don't want to bug it down with any super in-depth story in terms of character backgrounds, but I really liked the ones that they really did flesh out, like Roca and King. I think those were really great, and so there's a few others like Wonyul or Oneyul, I don't know how to say it, but she was cool, and there's a few others that deserve some recognition. But for the most part, I think he did a really good job at balancing how much character depth to throw in there, in addition to just staying focused to the mission. Another thing I really loved about this is that it included tons of stuff from Warpath and Dead Zone. The way the battle scenes were written, it really felt like you were playing the game. Like there's an early one in the first part of the story where you really feel like it's a game of Dead Zone. You have guys peering out of corners, and then they see someone, and, you know, that kind of thing. And that was really neat. And then towards the end, I don't think this is a big spoiler, there's a big battle, and it's a lot like a sweet game of Warpath, and it made me really want to play the Vermin, who I actually have not tried on the table yet, but I will have to soon. I really like the way that characters interact with their environment, and what I mean by this is that I really enjoyed the way that the Drakenhof Marines respond to seeing an enforcer or having gripes with the enforcers and how the enforcers see the situation. They're very much mission-based, very focused, very laser-sighted, and then it's kind of cool to see how out of touch they are with humanity, and I think that was really well done, and they really made them feel like very important, rare specimens to be seen. And I really thought that was a good way to flesh out the universe and really make it feel real, because you gotta think, you know, we can see the enforcers all the time. We just have to, you know, Google it and we can just see all these guys. But if they were real, they would be like the secret special ops that you just hear about. That's like, oh yeah, the enforcers, they went and took care of this on this planet. And you're like, oh yeah, that's a great story. But then when they're in your face, it's like, it's a totally different ballgame. And I really like the way that the author played that up. Let me go on a side note about Roca. I didn't get this model in the Warpath Kickstarter, but I am going to have to put some Mantic points down or something, because I want this guy bad. He is bad ass. There's a section in here, especially one very, very memorable section, but it's just him wasting a bunch of Vermin with clinical efficiency, and it just brings the biggest smile to my face. It's so great. Oh man. it's just, you know, he grabs them by the neck, and then he's shooting guys in the head, and it's just, it just gets all the right juices flowing, and it makes you really want to play the games, paint the models, do all the stuff, but really just lets your imagination run free, and that was my favorite part about this whole novel. I like the direction the story went as well. I think it was a really well self-contained story, like I said, but it also had a lot of twists and turns I didn't expect. I didn't know it would be so intimate in terms of characters. It almost becomes like a buddy cop duo with King and Roca, which I didn't see coming at all, and I thought that was really neat. And their little side mission is really intriguing, and hopefully we get more of that because that was really sweet. I like the style of writing. Like I said, it's very exciting when it needs to be, and I think it makes for a very easy read. It's not a very long novel, which makes it even more accessible, and it's broken down into nice-sized chapters. If you just want to knock out a chapter a night, or maybe two, you won't regret it. It's a very fun read, especially if you love the Mantic Warpath universe as much as I do. I think it's great. I really think that any fan of Dead Zone or Warpath would really dig this. And it gives you a little bit more insight towards the Veermen, which we haven't really seen up until now. It gives you a little sneak peek into how their units operate and kind of how their behind-the-scenes stuff looks, which was neat. So there you have it. You get a strong, heavy recommendation from me. I think you should totally read this book and read any other new novels that are coming out. Speaking of novels, if you are still interested and you want to pound out a quick story in no time at all, the NaNoWriMo, which is the National Novel Writers Month contest for Mantic, is going on currently, November. If you're watching this past November, sorry you missed it. But basically, yeah, you get to, I would just say check it out on the Mantic blog. You can see all the rules and all the details. But basically you can do like living battle reports, you can do Kings of War stuff, you can do Dungeon Saga, I think. There's Dreadball, Dead Zone. There's some really cool stuff out there, and I really suggest that you get the creative juices going. You get to type out your own story. If you win a bunch of Mantic money, basically. If you don't, then you wrote a sweet story. So I think I'm going to finally do it. I'm on a week break of school, so that seems like a good time to maybe get my writing together. But yeah, if you're interested, please check that out at the Mantic blog and find that contest, because the more entries, the better, and you have a chance of getting published. And there you have it from me. I think I'm done reviewing this first strike. So hopefully we get a sequel to this book. That would be sweet. I would really enjoy that. Until next time, like, comment, subscribe, and keep rolling 8s.